We're on the record in cause number 326370. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Joseph Kevin Broussard. We have Mr. Broussard appearing via Zoom. Mr. Broussard, you can take your mic off of mute. How are you doing, Mr. Broussard?
As can be expected.
Oh, that's good. Now, Mr. Broussard, you are represented by your attorney, Miss LaKayla Friday. Miss Friday, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Judge?
I'm doing fine. Ms. Friday, do you have an announcement that you would like to make in Mr. Broussard's case?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Broussard has rejected the state's plea offer and he would like to move forward to a jury trial.
Okay, just hold on. We'll give you your trial date.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, your trial date is going to be August the 16th of 2021. Ms. Friday, we will send you notice of the reset date. And Mr. Broussard, please stay in contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case for the day. You have a blessed day. And Ms. Friday, you are excused and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
Thank you. We're on the record in cause number 326338. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Curtis Daniel Johnson. We have Johnson. Is your full name Curtis Daniel Johnson? Yes, sir. How are you doing, Mr. Johnson? That's good, Mr. Johnson. You're here represented by your attorney, Mr. William Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm all right, Judge. I have a doctor's appointment in a little while.
Okay, now, Mr. Wilkerson, we was anticipating receiving a an evaluation from Dr. Grapon, and I don't think that has been done yet.
No, Your Honor, that's going to be done Monday, April 26th. And so that's this next coming week. Part of the problem was with my office, Judge. We had provided Dr. Grapon's office with Mr. Johnson's personal cell number, which is no longer in service, rather than an alternate contact with his mother's number. That problem was remedied, but not in time to have the evaluation scheduled before today's appearance. And so I think just a quick reset would get that report in, Judge.
Okay. What I'll do, let's reset it for about 2 weeks. Give us a date. May 5th is going to be the new date. And Mr. Wilkerson will send your reset date. Mr. Johnson, please stay in contact with your attorney. Mr. Johnson, you can stand over here in front of the court coordinator and get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Wilkerson, this is your only case, so you are excused and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, you too, Judge, and we'll see you on that date.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. We're on a record in cause number 328400 and cause number 328402. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Joshua Lyle Atterbury. Mr. Atterbury, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Atterbury? I'm doing fine. Mr. Atterbury, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Mr. Smith, how are you doing?
Good, fine, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Max. Now, Mr. Smith, excuse me, yeah, Mr. Smith, do you have an announcement that you would like to make in Mr. Atterbury's cases?
Yes, Your Honor, we recently received offers from the DA's office, and we're rejecting those offers and asking for, to set this matter for trial.
Okay. Now, Mr. Atterbury, did you receive bond conditions in this case?
Yes, sir.
You have? Could we check? You did not? Okay. Let me, Mr. Smith, could you hand these to Mr. Atterbury? Okay, Mr. Atterbury, well, first of all, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Atterbury, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Atterbury, the document that your attorney just handed you is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
I will go over these bond conditions with you. And it reads, following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number one, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number two, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.44, Article 17.44, subsection A2 and subsection C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number three, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim, Samantha Bevins. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 4 doesn't apply because that only applies in DWI cases.
Okay.
All right. Now, that is your copy. Please adhere to the terms and conditions of probation. If you violate your terms and, please adhere to the terms and condition of the bond conditions. If you violate any one of those conditions, your bond can be revoked.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, his case. Of what? I already gave him the bond. If you already have a copy. Yeah, I already made copies. Mr. Smith, just stand over there on the X. She's gonna give you reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Well, you have another case. But Mr. Atterbury, once your attorney give you a reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. You too.
All right, just stand over here. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 326420. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Freddie Cornelius Zen III. Mr. Zen, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Zen?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Zen, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Mr. Smith, do you have an announcement that you'd like to make in Mr. Zen's case?
Yes, Your Honor, we, literally, just this morning, we received a response to our request for pretrial diversion on Mr. Zen. And I would like to have like 30 days in order to discuss the disposition of this case. This case will not be a trial, but
Okay, let me, give us the date in June, because what we'll do is if you accept it, get into, and you sign up, I think the sign up date is like the first Thursday.
he was refused.
Oh, he was refused.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
oh,
my point is, I just got it this morning.
I thought he was accept, okay. Okay, so what we do is just give him, you just want a standard 30-day
Yes,
reset.
Judge.
Okay. Okay, June 9th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It'll be June 9th, you could get your reset, and I think this is your last case?
I have
You have another one?
Samuel Cadena.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Zen, the attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. We're on the record in cause number 322030-1. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Nicholas Clifford Collins. Is that your full name?
Clifton, I don't know, he's been having Clifton for a long time. Clifton.
Okay, but you, Nicholas Collins, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Collins, how are you doing?
Doing better than I was before.
Okay, Mr. Collins, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Todd LeBlanc. Mr. LeBlanc, how are you doing? Mr. LeBlanc, you have an announcement you'd like to make?
I do, Judge, but I need a minute to speak with him. If you give me a minute.
Okay, we'll hold it.
Come back to it.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. We on the record. We on the record in two cases. First case is cause number 327-774. Second case is cause number 327-776. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Matthew Cord Marlin. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Marlin?
Good yourself.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Marlin, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. James Macon. Mr. Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing real good, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Marlin, the information in this case in cause number 327-774 alleges that on or about June 24th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activity. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Marlin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Marlin, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. And this is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Marlin, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Marlin, are these your initials on the same line with your attorney initials?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document here. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Marlin, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature
Yes, sir.
above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And there are two boxes there or marked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal or you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document here that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Marlin, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the second line of this document?
Yes, sir.
Just date that. Now, Mr. Marlin, prior to signing and initialing all of these documents, the discovery certification, the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, and State's Exhibit Number 1, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand all these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
We have no objection. Your Honor.
No objection, State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you have advised and counseled Mr. Marlin. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Marlin, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marlin, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation, a $750 fine, 80 hours community service, a drug and alcohol assessment, and that's to run concurrent with clause number 327776.
Mr. Marlin, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, which comes to a total of $1,042. That's the fine and the court costs.
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to pay probation fees of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee each month of $15, And your total monthly installments is $170 per month. Would you be able to pay the $170 per month?
Can I just pay the fine and everything at one time?
Yeah, if that's your desire.
Yes, sir.
So you'll be able to afford it, okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Marlon, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service and participate in a drug and alcohol, will have a drug and alcohol assessment. In this case, will run concurrent with cause number 327776. You will also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Marlon, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marlon, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Marlon, we will proceed with your next case. And your next case is cause number 327776. And in this case, Mr. Marlon, the information alleges that on or about June 24th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of falsification of a drug test. Now, Mr. Marlon, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Marlon, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marlon, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Marlon, are these your initials on the same line with your attorney's initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, Mr. Marlon, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Marlon, do you understand, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means that you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Also, I have before me the discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the second line of this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marlon, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the
sir.
best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. May, can you advise and counsel Mr. Marlon in this case as well? Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Marlon, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marlon, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation, no fine, the 80 hours community service, drug and alcohol assessment, and that's to run concurrent with cause number 327774.
Okay, Mr. Marlon, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. In this case, during the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs in this case of $292. You will not be required to pay any probation fees in this case because you're paying the probation fees in the other case. And your total monthly, and you also be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Now, your total monthly installments in this case comes to a total of $45. Would you be able to pay the $45 per month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Marlon, do you also, Mr. Marlon, you'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service and have a drug and alcohol assessment. And this case will run concurrent with cause number 327-774. And you will also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Marlon, do you understand the state's offer?
Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Marlon, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into in this case. Mr. Marlon, please stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of the court clerk. And once you finish in here, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Macon, I think this will
That's all I have.
conclude your case. You have a blessed day as well. Did we? Okay, we're on the record in cause number 326-148.
Again,
That's Mr. Gertz. Yeah, she's on there. Yeah. I know. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 326-148. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Crystal Shavetta Foxall. We have Ms. Foxall appearing via Zoom. Ms. Foxall, you could turn your mic off of mute.
It's off.
Okay, how are you doing, Ms. Foxall?
I'm well, and you?
We're doing fine. Ms. Foxall, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Gertz. Mr. Gertz, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Gertz, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in Ms. Foxall case?
Judge, I'd like to ask for one more resetting. This is a case involving a train accident,
Okay,
and there is a sort of, I would say, voluminous medical records, given that this is a misdemeanor.
okay,
And so could we maybe have 60 days?
okay. So we'll reset it for 60. Give us a day. What is that day? Okay, the case is going to be reset to July 7th of 2021.
Great.
Ms. Foxall, stay in contact with your attorney. And this will conclude your case. Your case has been reset to July 7th of 2021, and you have a blessed day.
You too, thank you.
Okay, you are. And Mr. Gertz, you can stand over there and she can get you a
Thanks, sir.
reset.
I had one other case that was on the docket and may have gotten,
No, it's still McCory. Okay, now what were we saying?
Kevin McClory. He's present, he's outside.
Okay, once you need it, you want to bring him up right now?
We can, I guess I'm concerned because I can't see Ms. Ramos anymore.
She's.
On here, and
Hold on,
Right,
hold on.
if-
There it
Oh,
is.
there she is, okay.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead
go
on and
ahead
get.
on this case, Ryan, or did you want to try and discuss it some before we go ahead?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was asking if you were wanting to go ahead on and make an announcement in this case, or if you wanted to discuss some before we make an announcement.
Well, so Judge, could we get a short resetting on this, maybe?
Well, let me get
30
your client
days?
in first.
Okay, I'll get it. Thanks. Ms. Ramos and I have been in active
Okay.
conversation on this case.
Okay.
Give me a second.
You can have your client stand on that X right there. Okay, we're on the record in two cases. First case is cause number 324-586. Second case is cause number 324-588. Both cases are style the state of Texas versus Kevin Michael McClory.
Yes, sir.
Is that's your full name?
That's correct.
How you doing, Mr. McClory?
Doing fine.
That's good. Now, Mr. McClory, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Gertz. And Mr. Gertz, what's your announcement?
Well, Judge, I'd ask for a short resetting. I think we're gonna be able to resolve this matter, but Ms. Ramos and I are still discussing it, so.
Okay, how
I
much?
have maybe 30 days on this.
Okay, that's standard reset. Okay. Give him our standard reset. June 9th? Okay, Mr. McClory, your case is going to be reset to June 9th of 2021. You can get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thanks, sir.
And Mr. Gertz, I think, is this your
I
last
think
case?
that's all I
Okay,
have.
okay, Mr. Gertz, once you get your reset, you're excused and you have a blessed day as well. Did his client show? Hold on a minute. Now, is it, okay, we're on the record in cause number 321, case, the case is style of state of Texas versus Lewis Tyler. We have Mr. Tyler, well, Mr. Tyler is not present. The bill just called his name. Well, first he called his name at or about 9 a.m. He did not answer. The time now is 9:43 a.m. on today's date of April 21st of 2021. Mr. Tyler did not answer again. We have Mr. Tyler's attorney, Mr. Mark Faggart, who's here. He's been here. Mr. Faggart, you wanted to approach the bench?
Yes, Your Honor. I have tried to reach him by phone and text messaging today. I know he may be in the state of Louisiana. I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest with you. I knew that at one time there may have been a warrant out for him to Louisiana. So I don't know if he's unavailable to get here today or exactly what's going on. He's generally good about, I'll send him a text message saying, hey, you got court this morning or you got, court tomorrow or something. But I did not hear back from him in regards to this setting.
Okay. So, I mean, right now, we hadn't called out cases for our bond forfeitures yet. And so I guess he still have some time to appear, make an appearance.
I understand, Your Honor, and we'll certainly wait on that. I have tried to contact him by both phone and text message this morning.
Okay. Let's see, we got Mr. Let's see.
Yeah, I think he forfeited on that.
Okay.
He got a new case.
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 327-522. A case of style of state of Texas versus Brianna Chandler. We have Mr. Ryan Matuska, who's appearing via Zoom. Mr. Matuska, is that your client, Miss Brianna Chandler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how are you doing, Miss Chandler?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Matuska, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Matuska, do you have an announcement that you would like to make in Ms.
Yes, Your
Chandler's
Honor.
case?
There's a companion felony case set on June the 9th. We're asking the court if we could set it to the same date.
Same date? Okay. Okay, this case will be set June the 9th with the felony case. And Mr. Matuska, we will send you your reset. And Ms. Chandler, please stay in contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case. Your case is being reset to June 9th along with the felony case. And you're excused. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Matuska, I think this is your only case. You are excused as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr.
Need to run next door.
That's fine.
I'll be right back.
We're on the could you call Morgan Wester? Mr. Don Boudreaux's case. He's on page 1, the first, at the bottom. Yeah. I think you come on up.
Morgan Wester? Morgan Wester? There's a companion.
Yeah,
on
I know. Matthew Wester, yeah.
there, And,
Just, let's wait for the, your client to come in. We're on the record in cause number 326032-2. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Morgan Ramirez Wester. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Wester?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Miss Wester, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Don Boudreaux. Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, you have an announcement that you'd like to make in Miss Wester's
Yes,
case?
sir. They are a couple along with Mr. Matthew Morgan, Wester. My client says her husband has not been able to contact his lawyer. And Mr. Peppo said he may have filed a motion to withdraw.
Okay.
There was a motion to withdraw, but that was for a different attorney, and Mr. Reynolds is the attorney on the case and not
Yeah.
the attorney that filed the motion to withdraw.
Right.
So,
what's your announcement?
Your Honor, either we could try to have one more reset because she wants to see what her husband wants to do, and they have not been able to work out anything between them since he has not talked to his lawyer or got any offer from the district attorney, or we have to set it for trial.
Okay, so what you want to do?
Well,
What's
I
your
think
announcement?
it'll probably be, I think it can probably be worked out by some agreement, but we can't do anything until her husband talks to his lawyer.
Well, but we can't just keep resetting it based
I
on
understand.
another case, whether or not another defendant is going to talk to his lawyer or not.
Well, I understand.
But
that.
I'm just wondering what the communication is with you. Did you get an offer from the state?
No, sir.
Oh, you have?
Yes, you did, Mr. Boudreaux. You had gotten an offer from Ms. Musgrove on this case, and then yesterday I also emailed you an alternative offer.
I didn't get there,
Okay.
but if I don't think that, Mrs., the first DA made an offer that was unacceptable.
Yeah, I know, but I think she just said, Ms. Ramos just said she's made an alternative offer that you say you haven't received. So you want some time to look at that
Yes, sir.
alternative offer? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is reset it, give him our standard reset date. Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 9th to give you an opportunity to look at that offer and talk it over with your client.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can get your reset and you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
Now, you'll be free to go, Ms. Wester.
Yes.
Once you get your reset from your attorney, you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Boudreau.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Oh. We're on a record in cause number 322-030-1. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Nicholas Clifford Collins. Mr. Collins, would you please come forward? Mr. Collins, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Collins, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Collins, you may put your hand down. Again, how you doing, Mr. Collins?
No,
That's good. Now, Mr. Collins, the information in this case alleges that on or about September 6th of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Collins, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Collins, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Collins, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page, and State's Exhibit 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishments. Now, Mr. Collins, on page 2 of this document, are these your initials on the line that says no contest? And on page, or no contingent, and on page 3 of this document, Mr. Collins, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, Mr. Collins, which is titled Trials Court Certification of the Defendant's Right of Appeal. Hold on a minute. Okay. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving or giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have discovery certification?
Yes, sir. Don't continue to sign it.
Oh, okay.
Just hadn't been signed by the state. So,
Yeah. I have another document here. This document is titled the discovery certification. Mr. Collins, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You had to date it. Mr. Collins, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd also like to offer State's Exhibit number 2. It's the probable cause affidavit for this case.
we're no objection.
No objections. State's exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. LeBlanc, you've advised the council, Mr. Collins. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Mr. Collins, your attorney, Mr. LeBlanc, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Collins, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation, a $200 fine, 40 hours community service, and the theft class.
Okay, Mr. Collins, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this deferred adjudicated probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs, which comes to a total fine and court costs of $597. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you will also pay, you'll reimburse the county the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments will be $155 a month. Would you be able to pay the $155? You will? All right. Now, Mr. Collins, you also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, participate and complete in the theft class. You will also be required to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Collins, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Collins, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Collins, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure. Mr. Collins, please stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our court clerk, and once you finish in here, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. LeBlanc, I think this is your only case. You'll be excused as well once you finish signing
Thank you, Judge.
the documents, and you have a blessed day. Mr. Smith?
You know, we've got Nathan Reynolds on Zoom, and his client is in the courtroom.
Okay. Is that Matthew Wester?
Matthew Wester. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 326-032-1. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Matthew Wester. Mr. Wester, would you come forward? We have, okay, Mr. Wester. Now your full name is Matthew Wester?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Wester?
Fine, how are you?
That's good. Now, Mr. Wester, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Nathan Reynolds, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Reynolds, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Reynolds, do you have an announcement that you'd like to make in Mr. Wester's case?
I received an order from the court allowing David Barlow to withdraw, but I don't see where I was appointed on the case. The prosecutor did tender me an offer yesterday.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. She's gonna check on the appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, we show appointment. You was appointed February 11th.
Okay. Well, that was on February 11th, but all I got was a document showing that Mr. Barlow would withdraw. But anyway, Judge, if I could have maybe another 30 days and ask Mr. Wester to come by my office to discuss this offer before I make an announcement.
Okay, so we're gonna reset it 30 days. What date is that? Okay, the case is gonna be reset to June 9th of 2021. And Mr. Wester, you can get your reset over here. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And thank you. And Mr. Reynolds, your reset will be sent to you.
Okay, and if Mr. Wester would contact me, Judge, I don't see his contact information.
Okay, I think, is his contact information on the, you said, well, you don't, okay. Okay, we're gonna refax the copy of the appointment.
Yes, sir, Judge. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, you excuse me, you have a blessed day and you stay in contact with Mr. Reynolds. You should, if you need some contact information, we'll provide you with a copy of the reset as well.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
We're on the record in cause number 326368. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Samuel Cadena. Is that your full name, Samuel Cadena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Cadena?
I'm good, thank you, Your Honor.
That's good. I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Cadena, you're here represented by your, well, first of all, Mr. Cadena, you received some bond conditions from us last time. I see a note here that says bond conditions given back in February. You must have got them back
I
in.
received the paper from you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It kind of looked like that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's all I need to know. Now, Mr. Cadena, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Mr. Smith, you have an announcement you'd like to make?
Yes, Your Honor, we are requesting that this matter be set for trial.
Okay, we'll get a trial setting. Okay, case is gonna be reset to August the 16th. Mr. Smith, you can get your reset. Once you get, I think this is your last case, right?
I got one other one that's kind of unusual that.
Okay. Okay, we'll bring that one up. Now, Mr. Cadena, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yesterday,
Yes, sir.
hey, well, hold on a minute. Let's get the, Mr., what's his name? Davis? He come
Ronald
on up.
Davis.
He said somebody named Ronald Davis was on the docket. Yes, hold on a minute. Yeah, I don't see him on the docket yesterday. Yeah, that was a Raymond docket yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. He just telling me it was Monday.
It was Monday, sir.
Oh. Monday.
I was in drug court both days, so.
Monday.
What's the date of birth?
4/25/77.
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like he was on the docket for Monday and we did a bond forfeiture. He had a felony set also on Monday.
What was his name?
Ronald K. Davis.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's at the bottom of this docket. Bruce Smith, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're here this morning, Your Honor, trying to give an explanation to the court. Mike, he has a felony case. I met him in drug court on Monday morning, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, did you check in with Judge Holmes' court?" And he says, "Yeah, the bailiff told," not this bailiff, but he said a bailiff told him that it was fine, that he needed to go to drug court. So when I asked him at drug court, "Did you check in with court?" he told me yes. Come to find out, I'd like for him to explain to the court what happened. I mean, I can't. This is the first time it ever happened.
Actually, I came over because we had the drug court and we had to go there first. So when I came over, instead of coming all the way up, I was talking to the guys, people downstairs that check you in. And I was like, "Hey, where do I go to let them know that I got drug impact court and I need to be over there instead of misdemeanor?" And she was like, "Well, they'll notify them so you don't have to go over." So I just went over, and when I talked to him, I told him that I explained it to them that I have to be over there, and they said that they would let them know. Actually, I doubled back after I went to court just to make sure that we had to come back over here. So we was all under the assumption by my misleading that we were squared away over here, sir, but I didn't come all the way up here. I stopped I just took their word for it, and here we are.
And the felony case did get reset
Well, I understand.
the other day. So
Yeah.
that's our explanation. We're asking the court to remove the bond forfeiture.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to set aside the bond forfeiture. I know we usually reset these cases at the convenience of the attorney and defendant to set them on the same day. I don't know, he didn't get no instructions from our court for him not to appear here, and we didn't delegate that to nobody else. I know he says, I mean, somebody in the courthouse, but I mean, that didn't come from us.
I understand, but it was not fair for somebody downstairs to tell him that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what he's saying. I mean, but I mean, we can't say, I mean, we didn't give him the instructions, first of all. And so he's saying he got it from somebody downstairs, whoever that somebody is, and I don't know, but in the meantime, I mean, we waited here. In fact, we stay here. We usually do our bond forfeitures kind of later on in the afternoon. And we usually check back and forth with the courts in terms of see whether or not a person is here, if they, that type of stuff. Because we always ask them to come in and check in. And the bailiff here, for example, the bailiff here will tell them to go over to the other court, and then when you finish there, come back here. That's the instructions that the bailiff always give. The bailiff in this court.
Yes.
And he's saying he got some instructions from somebody else. We have no, we didn't, like I said, we did not delegate the bailiff's instructions. We did not tell nobody else to tell defendants that. So I don't know. So at this point, I mean, I don't, not only that, but he also have instructions from his bondman to be in the court, and he does have a bondsman. So I'm not inclined to just reset the case, not reset the case, but to recall the bond forfeiture.
I mean, it's not like he was ignoring. you know,
Well, I
the court's
don't, yeah,
instructions. I mean,
yeah.
he came to the courthouse and all of that.
Well, I understand.
The lady is downstairs. She's another bailiff as well. I understand that I was supposed to come all the way up here now, but as I was explaining to her, she was like, well, this court will recognize it with this court because they were separate. I assume, so I just took her word for it. And, you know, I totally understand that I was supposed to be here and I was sent here. And instead of stopping there, I should have proceeded on through, sir. But like you said, I stopped there and I heeded her advice and not the order and summon another court. So I do apologize, but my intentions was not to miss anything, sir. That's why I'm here today.
Yeah,
So I
Yeah.
understand and
yeah, but the court is not inclined to set aside this bond forfeiture.
yes, sir.
Would the court consider a person to our bond?
I don't know, he has a warrant out?
I don't know. if he has a warrant out or
I mean,
not.
I don't know.
Reed called me this morning and was telling me that it
He
was in the
does?
process of issuing
Yeah,
one.
he's gonna have to, yeah, well, you're gonna have to get in the jury box right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I don't know, so at this point, I mean, we'll look at, I don't know, we'll look at his bond and we'll set it according to, Article 17.15 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, that gives us rules for fixing bonds. Okay,
You need to
I can, I
do
mean,
anything?
I don't know, I could just get some information from him to, yeah, to see.
I can advise the court that this young man has always appeared in court when he was supposed to. He's always appeared at my office. when he's supposed to.
Okay, he can come back up. I need to, I'm just gonna get some information. I don't know if, just some financial, just some information on it. I need the information to determine what the bond is what we're gonna set the bond at. Okay? Okay, let me do this here.
And are we let's see. No, I'm sorry, never mind.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Are you employed anywhere?
No, so right now, I'm on a dog breeding services.
Okay, so you're not employed. And are you, let's see. Let me do this here. Now, are you, I'll get the facts of the case. Give me a copy of the PC. Okay, thanks. Okay. Let's see, so in terms of your ties to the community and the family, apparently you was born in Silsbee, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Been in Beaumont since like
Okay,
the February.
okay, and you currently live in Beaumont?
Yes, sir.
And how long you been living here?
My whole life, basically, since like 88.
Okay, since 1988. Okay, and you're and you have family in the area?
Yes, sir. I have a home on Cartwright in San Jacinto.
What did you say?
I said I live on. I have a home on Cartwright in San Jacinto, where it's pretty much where a good amount of my money comes from. I breed my dogs.
Okay, but let me ask you this here. Do you have, like, when I say family, you have like mother, father, sisters, brothers, cousins,
I have
children?
a sister out here and nieces. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have family in the area?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your family is from this area as well? Are they
Yes,
live? Okay. So you've been living here all your life? Patrick Gallagher, would you please put your mic on mute?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, excuse me. And community family ties, what is he? Okay, you have two cases? Okay, so you have a resisting arrest and a interference with public duties?
That was, yes, sir, that's at my home, yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, the interference was refused by our office.
Oh, what?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So you have a, let me do this here. Criminal history. Yeah, the interference was refused. You currently out on bond on there. And you're on bond on a possession of controlled substance, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have okay, you got two priors. You got, you have a misdemeanor driving with no driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I see here you have a felony. Let me see. Now, yeah, I see your felony. Is that a murder? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And are these your only two prior convictions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have like convictions in another county?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so you
Completed all of that.
got one felony and one
The
misdemeanor.
felony was, I think, back in 1998.
94.
94.
That's what it says here. It was
96.
94, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, this one is a 20. You had a couple of cases refused. On bond on this one and on bond on that. Okay. That's now ability to make bond, you're unemployed, right? Were you hired on this case or?
Yes, Your Honor, I was, but it was back in November.
Okay. Now, let me see, ability to make bond, you got one outstanding bond, right?
This was February.
What is,
2020. It was like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, it was a year ago in February.
okay, what is his bond on the, he has an outstanding bond? What is his bond on the possession case? What is the, do we know that his bond
I
amount?
think it was 20,000 altogether.
Yes, Your Honor, it's 20,000.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, has he had any previous bond forfeitures? Can we check? Or do you know if you had
I
any?
haven't been in anything since the beginning of
Okay,
2020, when everything started.
That was the only one from Monday.
none, okay. Okay. I got let me do this here. Your ability to, hey, so you're unemployed, you married, single, divorced, separated, or?
Single.
Single. So, you receive any child support or anything?
No, sir. Like I said, I have a business where I sell pit bulls, I breed them and resell blue pit bulls, so.
Okay, do you get any kind of government benefits like Medicaid?
No, sir. I was
SSI?
denied all my disability and stuff.
Huh?
They denied me all that when I got out of prison. I tried
Okay.
for it.
Do
I
you,
worked for I used to work in the refineries, but then when they came with the ex-offender thing, they booted me out of that. So I kind of like been bouncing around. So I kind of like just do odd jobs and raise my dogs and just try to keep it.
Okay,
as
do
close
you
as I
receive
can.
any, like, any SNAP or TANF, food stamps or anything of that nature?
Just the stimulus that came through.
Okay,
Right.
now, what about, do you live in public housing?
No, sir.
Okay.
I live in a home.
Okay, that's just, only government check that you received was the
Stimulus package.
the stimulus?
Yes, sir.
And when did you receive that?
March 17th, I believe.
Oh, about a month ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, that's not per month. You're not getting that monthly. Okay. Do you have any other forms of income?
None at the moment. I've been trying to wait for the refineries to open back up, but since that's out, I'll pretty much be looking at McDonald's or something to hire me in. I was pretty much just trying to go back with the refinery because that's what I do. I've been out
Okay.
for years, but
Okay, now let me ask you this here, assets. Do you own a house?
no, sir, I'm renting.
Do you own a car?
I have 3 vehicles that I've acquired, like an 88, 95, and 2000. that I
Okay,
can
what's the values
use for
on those?
collateral. Probably if I sell them myself, I'll probably get like 1,500 a piece.
That's 4,500. Is that, let me see.
I just buy
3,
stuff
4,
and
yeah.
fix it.
I'm just saying, okay, I'm just saying 4,500 assets. Now, on the rent, how much is your rent a month?
My rent is 700 a month.
7?
Utilities, I'm probably out about almost 1,300 a month with just
13?
living expenses,
Okay.
including my dog food and stuff. I kind of penny.
Utilities, you said utilities is 1,300 a month?
No, sir, I said all together with the $700 rent and the lights are probably around about 2 something.
Okay, what's
Water's never that
the
high.
utilities, the light, gas, and water? What's that?
I just have lights and water. My water this month was 47. I think my lights was like 170 something.
So it's 210 or something like that?
Yeah, so it's almost like, almost like 1,300 a month. My landlord allows me to fix things around the house to kind of supplement for the rent, stuff like that. I mean, I'm a handy guy. All I do is work with my hands.
Okay, so but how much are you, if you had to estimate or get, how much?
Mostly a month, I would probably place myself about maybe a little under 2,500 a month.
No, I'm talking about how much you utilities, your lights, gas, and water
I
a
only
month.
pay lights and water, so.
Oh,
I'm
lights and
probably
water.
like- Yeah, I'm probably like 3, maybe 4. It all depends, because, there's things with the lights. I got a $1,000 bill one time. I mean, I don't know, but it all depends on. how they
Okay,
send
but
the
what,
bill.
on the average, what
On
do you?
average, about 250.
250, okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have to pay any you have any children?
No, sir.
Okay.
Something
What about
myself
your
away.
what about your food expenses?
Food expenses, yeah, I pretty much like I said, if I sell a dog or I got a car going or some yards or something, I spent most of my life in prison, so I don't really need much. So I can't really just, just explain like what I spend on food because I don't really just eat a lot of things. I'm like more like chicken, turkey, noodles.
I mean,
Stuff
is
like
somebody
that.
else paying the food bill, or I'm just trying to?
No, I live by myself.
And you don't know how much you're averaging a month?
About 100 a week, 50 a week.
Probably about like, I don't like I eat old stuff, like I save
Okay.
my meat. I probably go shopping for hard meat and it'll last me probably roughly probably about 200 a month on food. Let's just do
Okay.
it like that, huh? I'm sorry.
Okay, now, transportation costs, do you have to pay for rides or?
No, sir, I own my vehicles.
Okay, now, how much do you pay a month like in gas?
And gas, I don't really go anywhere.
How often do you fill the car up?
Probably once every week.
Okay,
Like
and how much are you paying?
$30 a week.
Okay,
Because
that's,
it fluctuates.
120,
gas.
okay.
Like,
And what about,
220.
car note? You
No,
paying
I
a
don't
car
have
note?
any car. Like I
Okay,
said,
what
I
about-
buy them for cheap. And
Okay,
fix them.
what about, car insurance? Do you have to pay for that?
Yes, sir. My brother has me on his insurance.
So somebody else is paying
I can't go
that?
anywhere because my license is suspended.
Okay, but somebody else is paying that, paying
Yes,
the
yes, sir.
insurance.
My
Okay,
brother.
so you basically been paying, putting the gas in there, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's about, you said, what do you say, $30 a week, you said?
Pretty much.
And so that's about, round up about 120 a month?
Also,
Okay. Now, cell phone.
yes, sir. And my
Uh,
niece are on the plan. It's like $80 a month.
80 a
joint
month?
Plan. Yes, sir.
And you're not on probation or anything? You're not
No,
paying a
sir.
probation
No, sir.
fee?
No,
No parole fees or anything?
no, sir. No, sir. I've completed everything.
Okay, medical expenses.
Don't have any. Country boy.
Okay.
It'll go away.
And you paying any credit cards or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. 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 I think I got enough information. I have to look at this here, and then we'll see what your bond will be.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
You had anything else to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Want to give the court the explanation.
Okay. All right. You get it. You have a seat back there. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Lane?
Yes, Your Honor. It's on Miss Selma,
Okay.
Sydney Selma.
16, let me see, that's 19, that's 20. Selma.
I guess she's on your announcement.
Number one on page 2.
Okay. All right. We're on the record in cause number 326-180. The case is filed, the state of Texas versus Sydney Selma. We have Miss Selma, who's present in court. Is that your full, is that Sydney Elise Selma?
Yes, sir, Selma.
Selma. How you doing, Miss Selma?
I'm doing okay, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Ms. Selma, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Excuse me, Mr. Kevin Lane.
Yes, sir.
I don't see his name on the,
Yes, I was hired about 4:30 yesterday, Your Honor. I think, Mel's.
oh, okay. I didn't see his name on it. Okay, so. Mr. Lane, do you have, you just was hired?
Yes, Your Honor, just yesterday, but what we're
Well-
doing is, she does have another, we just announced in Judge Stevens' court, we were asking the court to maybe put on another announcement for June 9th.
Same day to
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll reset your case to June 9th along with your felony case. And once you get your case reset, Ms. Selman, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lane, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. Okay. Who else we got?
Your Honor, I don't think my client is going to show. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Mr. No, okay, we're on the record in cause number 326366. Case of style of state of Texas versus Diego Angel Rodriguez. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Rodriguez? You doing okay? Mr. Rodriguez, your attorney is Mr. James Paget. He's sick today, so he will not be able to appear in court. And so your case is gonna get reset. You can stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator. She'll reset your case. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay. Toby Jones? Okay, we're on the record in cause number 314994. The case is style of state of Texas versus Toby Ryan Jones. Mr. Jones, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you're also represented by Mr. James Paget, and Mr. Paget is sick today, so he's unavailable. So your case is going to be reset. You can get your reset. You can get your reset, and you'll be free to go. That door is locked, sir. You got to go through the other door. Katie Gloud. Hello. We're on the record in cause number 326010. The case is style, the state of Texas versus Katie Aston Gloud. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Gloud?
I'm fine.
Now, Ms. Gloud, you're also represented by Mr. James Paget. Mr. Paget is sick. He's unavailable today. And so your case is going to be reset. You can stand on the X in front of the court coordinator, get your reset, and you'll be free to go.
Okay, I have a question.
Well, I can't answer any of your questions, any legal matters. Just stay in contact with your attorney.
May we get a receipt for one?
Yes, when you leave out of here, make a left over the, double doors, reception sitting there, she'll give that for you.
Okay, thank you.
And go back out that door.
Okay. We're on the record in cause number 328234, case of style, state of Texas versus Daniel Antonio Martinez. Okay.
Yes.
Could you get up to Mr. Martinez? Bye. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 328234, the case of style of state of Texas versus Daniel Martinez. Your name is Daniel Martinez?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Martinez, what's you just been handed out is called bond conditions in County Court Law number 2. Have you received those bond conditions before?
Yeah, this,
He has bond conditions?
actually,
Hold on a minute, she's checking.
I don't,
Okay, these are standard bond conditions that we give. I'll go over these bond conditions with you. And it states that following arrest and or accusation of County Code of Law number 2, of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional condition. The defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of state of this state, any other state of the United States. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Number two, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court, and the court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who refuses to submit to test for drugs and alcohol as directed by the court, or submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, subsection A2 and subsection C2. Do you understand that? And condition number three, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Alejandro Godinez?
Alejandro.
Huh?
Should be A.
Alejandro
Yeah,
Godinez?
Alejandro.
Okay, do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now condition number 4 doesn't apply to you because this is a DWI case. It's not a DWI case, okay? So your case is going to be reset. Well, let me tell you this, if you fail to adhere to the standard bond conditions, your bond can be revoked, all right? Now, your case is gonna be reset, your attorney is sick, he's unavailable, and so just stay in contact with your attorney, all right? Stand over there on the extra and get your reset.
There you go.
Let's see here.
I got Bryce Posey outside for Alan Parker, and Alan Parker's not.
Oh, that's gonna be, yeah, have him to come in.
Mr. Posey?
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 326858. The case is styled of State of Texas versus Bryce Posey. Mr. Posey, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right? Mr. Posey, your attorney, Mr. Alan Parker, is in another court proceeding. He's unable to be here this morning. So therefore, your case is going to be reset. Stay in contact with your attorney. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
I got a question.
Well, I can't,
Okay.
answer any legal questions or anything. Just stand over there and get your reset, and you can talk to your attorney about your any legal matters that you have. Okay. Let's see.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just looked at my phone and I saw that Mr. Galmore had reached out to me. Jerry Gilthorpe's going to be covering for him for the docket for Patrick Gallagher. He is still stuck in the CDC right now.
Okay. I think, and Mr. Gallagher is on Zoom, so he should have heard that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I didn't know if I was doing this right. So I did hear what you said just now. Is everything okay?
Yes, your attorney is going to have another attorney standing in for him. That attorney is in the court next door, and soon as he finished there, he's going to come over here.
Okay, so I need to stay programmed into you guys then, huh?
What did you say?
I need to stay programmed into you guys and just turn the volume off or whatever.
Right.
I'll keep watching you guys, okay?
All right, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
We're on the record in cause number 326344. The case to style the state of Texas versus Cheyenne Fate McKnight. We have Mr. McKnight, excuse me, we have Miss McKnight appearing in court. Miss McKnight, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Miss McKnight, your attorney, Mr. Antoine Freeman is appearing via telephone. Mr. Freeman, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. Freeman?
I'm good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Freeman, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Ms. McKnight's case?
No, Your Honor, Ms. McKnight said she was hiring another attorney, and I assumed that she did so I hadn't even looked at the case and since she told me that.
Ms. I see here, there's a note on the docket that stated that she was gonna hire attorney Mel Shalander, but there's no attorney rep letter. He has not informed the court that he has been hired. Ms. McKnight, have you hired another attorney?
No, sir.
You haven't?
I have not, and I thought I was gonna be able to report it, but I wasn't, and I'm sorry for that. And if I could have Mr. Antonio Freeman represent me, I would.
Well, he's still your lawyer. So, Mr. Freeman, did you hear that?
I did. What did she say? Your
She said she did not hire another attorney and she can't afford to hire another attorney and she would just like you to continue to represent her.
If you didn't mind, I'm sorry.
Okay, Your Honor, if we can get another announcement said, then I can call her and see what our next step will be.
Okay, give us a date. How much time do you need?
I guess for an announcement, Your Honor, maybe 14 days or a month. Like I said, I hadn't talked to her since she said
Okay.
she hired another attorney.
Okay, what's that date?
June 16th.
Okay, we're gonna reset it to June 16th. We're gonna send you your reset. Mr. Freeman, this will conclude your case. You're excused and you have a blessed day. And we will send Miss McKnight will get her reset in court. Ms. McKnight, please stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Antoine Freeman. You can stand over there on the X, get your reset, and you'll be free to go. Okay.
Are you gonna send me a copy of that reset?
Yes, yes. You want to be sent a copy of the reset?
Okay.
Okay, so you excuse, you have a blessed day.
There's a warrant on it, The box that you're.
Yeah, because I'll send them,
Yeah.
I'll send that downstairs. You're welcome, thank you. Sorry for the wait. Bye, Mr. Freeman. Oh, thank you. You want to stay? You have to go back.
Okay, you have a blessed, yeah, you go through that,
You have to sign up, Judge.
huh?